Good evening, Speed Gaming fans. It is the Final Fantasy Spring 2020 Monty's Chaos Casino Tournament. We are in Week 6, and tonight we have a barn burner of a race for you between ShadowWalker227 and Elastoid. I am Dr. Funkin, and joining me on comms tonight is Melee Wizard.
Hello, and we got some high stakes for this one. Our two runners are 4 and 2, and we have an automatic spot in the brackets on the line. The winner moves on. The loser ends up in the play-in race.
Those are high stakes indeed, and it looks like we're going to have Fighter Thief Red Mage Black Mage versus Fighter Black Belt Red Mage Black Mage.
Yep, two different schools of thought here. ShadowWalker probably keeping the Thief for the better run chance, and Elastoid probably want to keep his options open just in case we don't really find much for equipment for the fighter.
Absolutely.
It wouldn't surprise me if either of our runners end up going 3-man strats in one fashion or another.
Oh, looks like we're having to delay a little bit since Elastoid is not quite ready to go. Bear with us through these technical difficulties, Speed Gaming fans. Well, looks like, due to that we've got a bit of a full start here from ShadowWalker. How did, oops.
Looks like in SRLs, looks like
Alright, looks like ShadowWalker has responded, and we're going to re-roll the seed real quick and get these folks restarted.
Yep, I apologize for the issue here. I didn't realize that Elastoid had disconnected from SRL. And of course, the canal was in Topher. Or was in Temple of Fiends.
And we had level 1 Fade. Like, this was a good, quick start.
Alright, new seed has been rolled.
Thank you all for waiting while we get these technical difficulties straightened out.
And it looks like ShadowWalker at least is choosing the same party as before: Fighter, Thief, Red, Black. Red, Black. Yep. Question in chat. No, this was not a draft, so they're free to use whatever party they want. Once we get into brackets, I want to say that a draft will be mandatory, but for the time being, they only have to do it if they want to. Looks like Elastoid's going to stick with what he had before the Fighter Black Belt.
Makes sense to me. After all, he didn't even see enough of the seed to make a change. And he's got a new one anyway at this point.
Yeah. Right, I just set our runners loose once again, so we'll see what we have this time around, I guess. I didn't really get a good look at it because I was seeing what was going on behind the scenes, but you said there was Fade in level 1. Let's see if we get something similar this time.
And the racer should be off any moment.
Mm-hmm.
Milo, what happened earlier is that we already had a false start, so due to that, we had to re-roll the seed.
Alright, and we are off. For real this time.
What do we got for White Magic? Ooh, Life 2 in the first slot.
And Exit as well, and there's Nuke.
Level 1 Nuke. You don't need any of those Lit 3, Fire 3, you got level 1 Nuke.
Mm-hmm. The only exception might have been Ice 3, because against something that's weak against Ice, you could actually roll for more damage than a Nuke would. And there's gold bracelets, as expensive as they often are, but they're there.
There was also level 1 Exit in the 4th slot, which I think requires promotion to get?
I believe so, yes. Unfortunately, you won't be able to use it to get out of dungeons quickly at this point, but it could still come in handy later on.
And Elastoid is running directly for the pirates, while ShadowWalker goes to the Temple of Fiends. So we got a route divergence right off the bat.
Yeah, I get Elastoid's decision. You got Nuke. You can take out these pirates in no time flat. Get a couple quick levels. Get a free item.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes perfect sense. But you gotta remember to talk to Bicky after you fight him.
Yes, you do. And there's Oxiel for about 7,000.
Yeah, that's not too expensive. Should be able to pick that up pretty easily. Nothing of note in the... Oh, wait, there was a ribbon in the Topher chest. I stand corrected.
Ooh. And yeah, Elastoid, do not talk to Vicky.
And we got Fog 2 for level 2 White Magic, and nothing really of importance in level 2 Black Magic.
No. I mean, if ShadowWalker decides to promote and actually keep the ninja around, Saber could do some work. But aside from that, not so much.
And ShadowWalker very quickly took down Garland. However, these wolves are trying to stop him from getting out. It looks like Elastoid left Provoca without talking to Bicky.
And realized his error. Meanwhile, from the royalty, we got the crystal and the slab, and Bicky has the ruby.
Ah, those sweet, sweet poison sound effects.
Ah, don't you love it?
Like rain against a window in the summertime.
If you say so. Anyway, that's an interesting combination of items. The slab we won't be able to do too much with for now, but the crystal we can turn that in, like, right away.
Certainly can, and that kind of incentivizes going up there. Plus, you got those free chests in Matoya's cave, so why not?
You sure you saw a ribbon?
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I saw ShadowWalker have something else equipped, and I just have bad eyes.
I did see, I think it was a falchion in one of those chests.
Oh, okay.
Well, ShadowWalker making a beeline for Matoya, and there's a bottle, which we can't do much with either. But we do have these other chests, which has $4, a lot more than $4, and a soft potion, which isn't a bad thing to have early.
Not at all, and that extra 9k right off the bat will at the very least help you get magic when you go down to Elfland.
Oh yes, definitely. The sooner you get the, if you have enough to get the spells now, that just means you won't have to come back to get them later. Or at least not for your mages, anyway.
Absolutely not. Now, we are unfortunately running out of free chests to check at this point where we might find the canal, which means we may be looking at an early marsh dump.
Yeah. That's pretty much... We've got the 2 in Dwarf Cave. And I think that might be it.
That's it, yeah. We've got the 2 in Dwarf Cave, and after that, it's onward to Marsh.
I mean, the fact that the level 1 nuke doesn't make Marsh as imposing as it could be. I mean, the enemies there could still be packing something nasty, but our runners will be able to respond in kind.
Absolutely, yeah. This early marsh dive is nowhere near as scary as many early marsh dives can be. And it looks like Elastoid is buying some supplies in Corneria before heading out, whereas ShadowWalker is getting his spells in Provoke.
Getting some cabins, some houses, probably some heal potions.
Yeah, those cabins aren't exactly cheap, but you gotta have save items, so you make do.
Yeah, and I don't know if then cabins was the cheapest one there, so you just make do with what's available. I didn't see what was for sale in Provoca, but going all the way over there just to buy tents, seems like an iffy thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a waste of time, especially when you're about to be heading south to Elfland shortly, and who knows what's going to be in that item. Looks like it was still just cabins in Provoca as well at 220, so it definitely would have been a waste of time.
So under these flags, including the canal, there will be 4 loose items to be had. So, depending on what they are, given what we've already seen, it should be... Since we're already seeing a bunch of the fetch questy kind of items, those loose items might just be important in the immediate.
It's definitely possible. After all, I mean, at this point, at the very least, we need a loose canal in order to get out of the inner sea.
Barring us finding loose...
herb or crown.
I was more saying if we happen to find 2 of our loose in Marsh in, say, the canoe and floater.
Good point, yeah.
Or at the very least, the canoe would just give us more options of where to go.
Yeah, that canoe could be dangerous, because that opens up a whole heap of both unincentivized and one incentivized chest in the ice cave.
Still no tents in Elfland. I didn't see what was in level 4 white magic. Let me see here. Did see... Oh, there is wall in level 4. That's pretty good.
Yeah, wall is great. It can make it a little easier if you have trouble finding ribbons.
Yep, and thanks to our tracker Wout for keeping notes on some of the stuff that I've just, sometimes when you're checking these, when you're seeing people check these magic shops, it's kind of a blink and you miss it.
Definitely, and we were, concentrating on talking about what could happen in this seed, and looks like we've got some good armor in a pro ring from the dwarves, but we are definitely going to Mars.
Yep. A pro ring is definitely a nice thing. We haven't seen those in the shop yet, as far as I know. And for all we know, those could have rolled pretty expensive as well.
Oh, and there's our loose canal. ShadowWalker deciding to go even further into Marsh Cave, just in case.
Yeah, it would suck to have to come back here again.
It certainly would, but this also doesn't necessarily rule that out, because there are keylock chests in Marsh.
Very true.
Looks like we had Brack at level 3 black magic.
Mm-hmm. Brack is a nice insta-kill to have on hand. Ooh, silver bracelet, that's pretty good.
Invis 2 and Cure 4 at level 3 white magic? I missed that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Cure 4 is apparently white mage locked, so we won't be seeing our runners using that this time around.
Ah, well. 500 gold isn't terrible for houses.
Yeah, that is pretty cheap as houses go. And we got a lot of aquatic wildlife here at the crown chest.
Yeah, and it looks like those Wizhogs rolled pretty high on the health. A couple of those were even surviving a nuke cast.
And it turned out that chest only had $4 in it.
What a waste.
And Elastoid making his way to the Marsh Cave as well. So while I don't think we saw ShadowWalker check the north side, there are some linked chests particularly between at least some of the chests on the north side and some on the next floor down on the southern side. And that was the one that ShadowWalker got the canal from, I believe, is one of them.
I believe you're correct. And it looks like ShadowWalker did not bother to go to the north side yet, and reset out after not finding anything else in the basement.
Yeah, nothing except the lots of pain and death.
Yeah, there was something down there that was causing some roughness. Up here, we've got 7k gold, not a bad chest to find, almost 8k, and then almost 10k, so we're doing alright on money front for the early game.
Mm-hmm.
And in here, we've got some more money and the link chest with our canal.
Mm-hmm. And so, since ShadowWalker knows that there's nothing else on the southern half of things, we'll walk this canal out and be on his way.
Absolutely. Now the question becomes, does Elastoid try and check the south side, or does he also run out with his canal to check all the new locations that open? After all, that canal does open up 3 very easy checks between having your Ruby, the Ruby going to Titan's Tunnel for an incentivized location, which leads to Sarda for an incentivized location, and grants you access to Crescent Lake.
Yep, which is another incentive location as well. But if Elastoid were to stick around and check the bottom side, I would get it, because as mentioned, you don't want to have to dig this twice. Keylock notwithstanding.
Definitely, I can absolutely understand that. I do imagine that we'll see him save this item on the way out, regardless of whether he goes to the south or not.
Oh, most definitely.
And Elastoid goes directly back into Marsh.
Pop the house, pop the bottle, and back in he goes.
Now, I see a lot of differences in how people play the bottle. Some people like to pop it right away, others don't like to pop it until they're already in Gaia. How do you feel about popping the bottle?
Goodness knows my memory is not the most reliable of things, so I often wait until I reach Gaia and at least open the bottle while I'm there.
Yeah, I tend to play kind of similarly. I get hit in the head a lot.
Of course, we don't always get such leeway regarding the slab. Consider that once we translate the slab, that goes away, and just
the slabs...
trying to do it later, just go straight to moment, straight to Lofane. That's a bit of a time kill, so...
Plus, not to mention the fact that slab is kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because if you forget to translate the slab, that's even more time.
Alright, so Titan's Trove, what do we have? Money, Ice Sword, and the tail. Ooh.
That tail's gonna be great if we find some nice equipment for that ninja thief suit to become a ninja. Particularly a katana.
Ooh, and Elastoid's able to knock out that Gershark Wisahag encounter, get some good experience there, and decides to go in for another one.
This might be a mistake, considering what we saw them do to ShadowWalker.
Well, hey, looks like the sharks rolled under 300 health.
That's nice to see.
If he's able to walk out with this, that's a quick level 12 right there. That's nice.
Massive chunk of XP for this point in the game. 14.5 minutes in, and you're already level 12 on 3 of your party members. Coming up on ShadowWalker's side, we're about to see what Grandpa Sarda's got for us. The Rod, ooh, now that incentivizes going into Earth, which is also a play a lot of people don't like to make early, because while there are a lot of chests in Earth, they're very spread out.
And not to mention that you'll be encountering a lot of the enemies that you were also seeing in Marsh.
And in very large packs, it can get very brutal very quickly. There's a reason that a lot of people are Team Never Earth or Earth Lab. However, I wouldn't be surprised if we see ShadowWalker at the very least try and check out the chests in the top floor of Earth, considering that we still have 3 loose items.
Not to mention also scouting out trap tiles, since that grinding out a trap tile could be a necessity here, and finding one where you can get a lot of experience really quickly can be a huge asset.
Yeah, but ShadowWalker wants none of the Earth K right now, and immediately goes back to his boat. Elastoid's doing a pretty good job so far making his way out of this cave.
Having that life 2 is working wonders right now. Though he is notably keeping the black belt down, so I'm thinking we might be seeing the makings of a 3-man strat right already.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense, considering the black belt just fell naturally, and you were able to get so much XP on these 3 party members already, hitting level 13 now. Just continuing to rake in that extra XP on those 3 characters will help build you up for the end game better than keeping that black belt alive would. Well, let's hope these ghouls and zombies don't have anything dangerous, since they just sneak attack Elastoid. It doesn't look like they do, but...
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, yeah. He is out of nukes. Though. Thankfully, the ghouls and zombies typically don't hit hard, though. I do see stun touch in there.
Yeah, Stun Touch could make this a very difficult pack to get away from.
And the item from the circle stages, it's the crown, so...
So much back and forth and back and forth.
Until we get the floater, that's pretty much the nature of the beast at the moment.
Well, we do have another option at this point now that we can get out of the Inner Sea, and that's to go back to Provoca, buy the Oxyale, and go into, the,
Sea
Water
Shrine,
Shrine.
yeah. That is an option. At our levels, it's not necessarily the best option, but it is still an option.
Yeah, Elastoid's a little better prepared for it than ShadowWalker at this point, but yeah, it would be a rough early dive regardless.
Oh, there's Pro Rings for sale in Crescent Lake for 17.5. Not bad.
Yeah, that's, you know, I think a little cheaper than vanilla, but still fairly expensive.
I think Elastoid saw the, was looking at the Oxyale, and I think he was just short of being able to buy it at the time.
I don't know, maybe Elastoid went back after getting cash from Montoya, because Montoya had plenty of gold to be able to buy the Oxy.
I mean, that's what I mean. I think after getting other supplies, I think he was just shy of being able to afford it.
Ah, gotcha. I trust our tracker Wote to have tracked that correctly.
Yeah. And it looks like ShadowWalker is making their Earth play.
Hard not to. It's kind of convenient to, at the very least, check that first floor. And again, like you said, it could find a great grind tile. Chat, including Wote, telling me it's a mistake to trust Wote.
Well, hello, Gargoyles with Lit 2. How are you doing today?
Oh, that's going to be a problem in the early game, especially in Earthcave.
Yes. First chest had about 14k. Not bad, but not what we're looking for.
No, not at all, and that grind tile was nothing to write home about either. Looks like Elastoid's making his way out of the Inner Sea without going to purchase his Oxyale. Probably hoping to pick up a floater at some point so that he doesn't have to just...
No, he does have it.
Oh, he does, yeah, I didn't see it lit up there. Okay.
More, I didn't see it in his item menu at first. It looks like nothing worth keeping as far as items in the first floor of Earth. Let's see if our trap tiles have anything worthwhile. One thing that's not very well known is that the Hall of Giants here actually has 2 different trap tiles. Though you do have to work your way past the first one to get to the second one, and hello, red dragons.
Yeah, if you can take these out consistently, that's going to be a lot of XP, but they can really play spoiler to you.
Yeah, but it looks like 2 nukes reliably take them down.
Yeah, but 2 swings almost took out a fighter.
Yeah, that's a thing. Red dragons tend to hurt.
Absolutely, but getting that first SWAT, it looks like he's going to try taking this encounter a couple of times, and I can't say I blame him.
It looks like a high roll would take him out in one shot, and
absolutely.
A couple low rolls there let that one survive.
Yeah, luckily we're getting 3 hits already on the fighter, who's doing, with that Ice Sword, is doing big damage to him.
Yeah, just like that, ShadowWalker's at level 12.
Yeah, with all 4 of his party members. He's catching up on the XP real quick on this tile.
So I'm going to presume he's at least going to use up his nuke charges and probably move on from there. I'd be a little surprised if he decided to take another round of it.
Yeah, especially since if he is keeping all 4 of his party members alive, being able to you want to stay in the lower teams before promotion if you can, so that you can quickly get those spell charges on your promoted fighter.
Yeah, looks like ShadowWalker's making his way out at level 15.
A good place to be, absolutely.
And it looks like we're going deeper into Earth.
Yeah, at level 15, I mean, the gargoyles are still a problem, but this feels a lot safer, especially with how many charges of nuke they've got.
Yeah, and I appreciate ShadowWalker's strategy. It's like run with 2, nuke with the other. So you either get away or the gargoyles die.
Absolutely. Oh, he's getting J-Copered by that bat right now, though. Bad boss, hardest boss since Bridge Boss.
Silver Axe. Not as good as the Ice Sword, but still pretty good.
Yeah, I doubt we're gonna see him equip that, though.
Nah.
Just Silver Axe and some money.
And just like that, Elastoid's pretty much step for step with ShadowWalker at this point.
Now, are these 3 chests linked somewhere else, or have I just been playing Earth very badly every time I run this?
I don't believe they're linked, no.
Cool, so I've just gotten very lucky and been playing very badly. The wonderful thing about this game is that even by watching it, you can learn new things.
Oh yeah. I want to say the only 2 dungeons that have linked chests are Marsh. I know there's the one in Ordeals. Yeah. I want to say there's one in Volcano, but don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, okay. There's at least one in Volcano. Because there are some on the right-hand side of Carrie's floor that no one ever checks, because they're linked up in the vanilla... The
Agama floor, yeah.
Agama room.
Yeah, and if you're checking those chests, you're checking them on the Agama floor.
Absolutely. Take, like, a few steps as opposed to going all over creation for them.
Yeah.
Oh, now Elastoid's getting bat blocked.
And Elastoid has actually pulled ahead a little bit, going into floor 3.
Yeah. You know, depending on where you are in the encounter table, that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, these max packs of wolves are just so time-consuming to even get away from. Especially when they get the jump on you like they did on poor ShadowWalker.
There's a Were Sword. Oh, Thief can't use it.
Yeah, there are very few swords that the Thief can use.
It just makes promoting them all the more valuable, since I believe they can use all but 2 weapons in the entire game. But I think the only weapons they can't use as a ninja is Excalibur, and I want to say the Wizard Staff.
That makes sense. Plus, they get access to the ninja-exclusive weapon, the Katana, which has the same crit rate as the Vorpal, which is basically sky-high, on top of having just a significantly higher base attack, so it's just a strictly better Vorpal.
Hello, Loose Cube!
Oh, hello. Well, that'll be handy someday when we find a chime.
Yep. But at least it's one less thing we have to search around for.
Yep, only 2 more loose items to find. Oh, hey, there's a vampire down here.
Or there
Rumor has
was,
it
anyway.
This was a boss. Oh, yeah, he did not take kindly to getting new. Oh, another ice sword that the thief can't equip.
Yeah, but the red mage can.
Absolutely, and it can be nice if you want to try and save your spell charges to toss that ice sword down on the red mage.
Mm-hmm. So it turns out that going to Diving Earth was the play, but it's still something that we can't immediately take advantage of.
Yeah, it definitely paid off to get here before you find the chime, because depending on how averse to Earth you are, you might even check Mirage before coming down here to try and find your cube.
Yeah. Ooh, heal staff.
Oh, Masamune! Hello!
Okay, we got our endgame sword. And
he's
is
putting
equipping
it on the thief.
Okay.
I
Bit
guess
of
I
extra
can see
damage.
that. Yeah, at this level, you're gonna get basically a second frontline fighter with putting that down.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fighter's already putting in work with the ice sword. He doesn't need the Masa at this level to do damage.
Right. Yeah.
Elastoid picks up his Masamune. In his case, it does make sense to put it on the fighter, considering his black belt is worm food at the.
I think he was briefly considering putting it on the black mage, which I approve of on a certain level.
Hey, as a kid, I always put the Masamune on my black belt so that he didn't, my black mage, so that I didn't have to waste my nuke cast on anything other than the final.
Mm-hmm.
Quote saying #never Earth, except when Earth has the value, which in this case, Earth definitely had the value.
Oh, you're darn right. Still gonna check this last room, though.
Well, you have to. We still have 2 loose items. Vanilla unrunnable wizards. You hate to see it.
Yeah. But one quick nuke will take him out. And ooh, ice armor.
That'll really help deal with your absorb on your fighter.
Oh yeah. Not to mention having the fire resistance to go along with it. That is very nice, especially since we haven't been. I would say since we haven't been to Volcano yet, but who knows where all those fire type abilities will end up.
Absolutely. And due to the encounter luck, ShadowWalker, and despite falling behind, is now the first one to reach Lit. Who also, rumor has it, is a boss.
And now is just a pile of dust after getting nuked like that. And just like that, at 31 minutes, we have our first orb lit.
Now let's see how Elastoid's fight with, death goes.
Mm-hmm. And I think after seeing this, I think I have an idea of what Elastoid's other fiends bosses will look like. I seem to recognize that one. Alright, so now that we've cleared through Earth, just looking at what we have, it looks like ShadowWalker is going to go turn in the crown.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, considering, if the crown ends up being something like, say, the canoe, that's going to open up a lot of areas for you. Ooh, level 5 Fade, but I don't think that's going to be learnable.
I don't think so, no. And Astos has the canoe.
There you go. There's a whole bunch of new progression opened up. And Astos falls, and now we got a whole lot open to us. We could go to Waterfall, we could go to the Sea Shrine, we can get to the Volcano, we can get to Ice Cave, we can get to Ordeals. Possibilities are almost endless.
Yeah, Ice and Ordeals are particularly notable since they are incentivized locations.
Yes, they are. Which means that we are likely to find more progression there. Although we could also find one of our whammies, like the Thor Hammer, or the Power Bonk, or the Opal Cheerio.
Well, the Thor Hammer I'll give you, but the Power Gauntlet and the Opal Bracelet, I would not consider them whammies, because they're really good pieces of equipment. The Thor Hammer at this point is just kind of superfluous.
Space Drake asking where the crown was. The crown was at Crescent Lake.
Yep. And ShadowWalker is making the Ordeals play. Pretty much the closest check to where he was at the time, so makes sense.
I don't hate this play. It's a little rough if you don't have warp to deal with the randomized pillars, but it's still an incentive location, so you're going to want to check it eventually. Oh, but he makes it through pretty quickly.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And Kilo Spike Tile runs away with no issue. Ooh, that ice shield is nice at this level.
Oh, yes.
You'd prefer it would be a flame shield to go with that ice armor, but you'll take what you can.
Warp at level 6.
Speaking of the flame shield, ooh, and an X-Cal. So now there's a possibility of using the Masa on the thief, and then using the X-Cal on a promoted fight.
Mm-hmm.
And we got some TNT, more fetch quests, and back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth.
Yep. We'll see if we find the Adamant anytime soon.
Oh, wow. That, one of those nukes did over 300 damage to those worms, and it still didn't die.
Oof.
Charnan pointing out that having an ice armor and a flame shield is a great setup on the ninja, and yes, that's about as good as you could expect to have for armor on your ninja.
Yep, with appropriate elemental resistances along the way as well, especially if you don't have enough ribbons to go around.
Absolutely.
And it's looking like ShadowWalker might be making a Waterfall to Sea Shrine play.
Yeah, and again, this makes sense, because while you did get that turn-in, it is a bit far away to go do that TNT, whereas the waterfall is fairly close.
Yeah,
And if
and
the
with the
waterfall
Sea
ends up
Shrine
being your floater...
And with the Sea Shrine freely accessible right here and now, if you're lucky, we can get that second orblet.
Absolutely, or find another loose item.
And Elastoid finding that canoe.
Let's see if Astos shows us anything. Nope. Just
Nope.
gets sorted to death.
Masmune tends to do that.
It's a pretty beefy sword. One might call it the beefiest sword.
In sheer attack power, definitely.
Yeah,
And it has the added benefit of being usable by everybody.
Absolutely. And, you know, there is an argument for the katana on the ninja as opposed to Masa, but that a lot of that comes to personal preference.
Yeah.
Ooh, the rare gas dragon encounter in the waterfall. That's be a nice boost of XP.
It did roll a decent amount of health though.
Yeah, but it's not hitting hard enough to be a worry.
And we have an almost vanilla trap tile here. And oh, was that stone touch or an ability?
I didn't see, but that's a little rough, regardless. Because you gotta go back out through that. You don't have, like, warp or, oh, we had a Thor's hammer here. And a Sun Sword.
Okay, it's got some good weapons here.
Woat saying that was stone touch, and you have to make your way back out, because you do not have exit or warp right now.
Yeah, and that does make, a trip through a Mirage a bit of an issue, because you'll be seeing that same group again.
You certainly will.
And Elastoid is foregoing the waterfall, going straight to Sea Shrine.
Interesting play. I'm not... While we know that it's going to pay off, because you don't really need the Thor hammer at this point, I'm not sure how much I agree with it, considering, again, the waterfall's right there, and it's an incentive location. Everyone's favorite unrunnable Wiz Sahag, Red Sahag encounter.
So, one of the lesser-known details of this game is that every encounter has an A side and a B side. And encounters that are linked as such, if one is unrunnable, the other is too. So, but we do have the unrunnable shuffle on, but because that Wiz Sahag, Red Sahag group is linked with the pirates, that it's locked in as being an unrunnable encounter.
Yep, though on the randomizer beta, there is a flag that can be set that will make them runnable.
Goodness knows the beta and the alpha can do a lot of weird things with the encounters. It's a neat thing. I have tinkered around with that a couple times.
ShadowWalker having to deal with these unrunnable nightmares on his way out of the waterfall.
I think the pirates are unrunnable because it's kind of a scripted fight with, the pirates in Provoca. And I don't know what would really happen if you were allowed to run away from that.
So Elastoid seems to be having a fairly easy time making his way down through the water cave.
We're down here at the lovingly nicknamed Sharknado floor. I'm curious if we don't find anything worthwhile on this side, I wonder if Elastoid will check the mermaid side as well.
Yeah, it's a good question. I imagine he will, considering he already took the gamble of going to the Sea Shrine. You may as well just clear out mermaids while you're here.
The only downside is there is one particular chest on the way, one particular room on the way to mermaids that is key locked.
That's true. Yeah, you do have to worry about TFC. Ooh, we got some fires down here in the sea. Elastoid might be in hot water.
He's able to get away from it quickly enough.
Elastoid saving some nuke charges by using Ice 2 to get rid of those Wiz Sahags and Red Sahag.
Thank goodness we have enough AoE that dealing with them shouldn't be an issue, especially ShadowWalker with that Thor hammer.
Oh wow, sharks are unrunnable. I missed that earlier.
Well, at this point, they're really of no threat.
No, it's more of a hilarious annoyance than an actual threat. Oh, the Sarias on this spike tile isn't bad XP either.
It's not the sort of thing that you would come back for, but I could see Elastoid maybe taking an extra fight or two here.
Yeah, especially with how quickly they go down.
Fortunately, there wasn't much here in Sea Shrine so far.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like this was the play, but you can't know, and it does make sense since you also got the incentivized waterfall right there to come by and do this.
Alright. Elastoid making that final push towards Kraken.
Yeah, now this could still be dangerous, because even Kraken 1 can hit like a darn truck.
Yes. Very, very, very much so. Even with the armor that knight has, having that ice armor, Kraken can just decide to just insta-kill you.
Yeah, Kraken loves to melt Warriors of Light.
And the lovely part is we get to see Kraken again later on, which would when is often even stronger.
Yeah, it turns out 2,000 years in the past, Kraken was lifting weights.
You never skip leg day. All 8 of them. Doesn't matter if there's only 7 days of the week. Kraken does leg day 8 days a week.
Yeah, you gotta do it twice on Sunday. Ultros, my favorite Kraken.
And down goes the Red Mage.
As expected, just completely blitz a Warrior of Light. Oh wow, the fighter managed to survive just barely, and on the crackback takes out Kraken.
Nice.
And we get our second orb lit at 45 minutes and 13 seconds.
Nicely done. Doesn't matter if you have all your health or just 1. You're still alive. That's all that matters.
And it looks like Elastoid just brought his black belt back to life.
Oh, wait, no, he did not.
No. Okay, he brought... I thought I saw him cast life too.
I think he was about to, but caught himself. And it looks like Elastoid is gonna go check the mermaid side.
Yeah, it makes sense. You're already here, you're already doing it. Even if you are having to orphan that one keylock chest, this is still a lot of check.
Yeah. Alright, ShadowWalker pulling Kraken 1. Let's see where Kraken decides to who he decides to aim for first.
Oh, he's just playing nice.
Yeah, fire 2 across the bow.
Oh, and slow, yeah. Kraken's playing real nice for ShadowWalker.
Oh, yeah. And ShadowWalker lighting that water orb at about 46-44.
So only about a minute behind. And technically, he's got a little more knowledge than Elastoid because he's also cleared out Waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
And Ordeals.
That too, yeah. But ShadowWalker is not checking the mermaid side, so if something important is here for Elastoid, that could give him an edge.
Yeah, that could be absolutely massive if there's something like a key or the floater. Obviously, the floater would be the biggest deal with the tier in Mermaid.
Oh yeah. Though it is possible to have a floaterless seed. As much as our runners may not want them, but it is possible.
Yeah, nothing feels quite as heart-wrenching as having a floaterless seed. There's something magical about getting in the air for the first time, that music swells, you're suddenly not getting any encounters. Oh, he found a ribbon. That, at the very least, is going to make this a worthwhile...
Oh, yeah.
That is the first ribbon we've seen this seed, despite what I may have said earlier.
And ShadowWalker's going to go turn in the TNT.
Ah, Power Bonk.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good to have, but it's also not what you're looking for when you're trying to progress.
True. But it's not like we're short on options right now. We still have at least the Volcano and Ice Cave to do.
Definitely. Personally, at this point, I'd probably go Ice Cave just because it is an incentivized location. And at this point, your levels are such that the Ice Cave shouldn't be too deadly.
And I think this will be the last chest for Elastoid here. Some money, a second light axe, and some more money.
So yeah, nothing too extraordinary in Mermaids, but the ribbon on the floor before Mermaids was certainly worth walking out.
And one thing I didn't notice, we got Quad X and Fast at level 5 Black Magic.
Oh, it's so good that we were able to find Fast. You're absolutely gonna want that when it comes time to go to Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Definitely.
That's just a huge damage multiplier.
And Elastoid's going to go ahead and take out Waterfall while he's here.
Reasonable. ShadowWalker taking the time to go get his slab translated.
Yeah, he was on the way. So now it's just a matter of is he going Volcano or is he going Ice?
Well, we'll find out in a moment, depending on where he goes at the break.
Yeah, he's going north.
So
That's Ice Cave.
And like I said, I think that's the right move because again, it is an incentivized location, and if that incentive location is a vanilla floater at this point, that's so much better than going into an unincentivized volcano and potentially finding nothing.
Mm-hmm. And not just for the chest. We are still looking for a couple more loose items. And really, as far as what we need, we're still looking for the chime, the key, and the loot. Floater is technically not required unless something is in Lefane or Gaia. We'll have to see.
ShadowWalker not having much in the way of trouble getting his way down through Ice Cave here.
Ooh, unrunnable sorcerers. Anyone who's played the vanilla game will always still have that little eye twitch whenever the sorcerers show up.
Love that vanilla death touch. Ugh.
Yeah, now that death touch could appear anywhere.
Certainly could.
Often when you least expect it. They rolled pretty high on health if they were able to tank a nuke like that.
Yeah. Asp. so many snakes.
Yep. Unfortunately, ShadowWalker did not get the warp spell out of Crescent Lake, so he was gonna have to do this the long way.
Imps, also not much in the way of a trap tile.
Nope. Ah, but imps and Gur-imps! Still nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
You know, Elastoid is making the ordeals play.
Meanwhile, ShadowWalker runs into a Wraith trap tile, which is annoying with Ice 2 and Stun Touch, but not, again, super deadly.
Say that
as
to
his
Bill.
Black Mage, as his Black Mage drop.
Oh dear. But he's able to get away.
Oh, both of his mages went down. That's gonna make getting out of Ice Cave a bit more challenging.
Yeah, thankfully he's got a bunch of heal potions, so as long as he's able to get away from fights, being able to survive shouldn't be much of an issue.
And it looks like he's gonna just take out
Oh!
these rays rather than try and run from them. Oh, crack from...
Yeah, and that was after, that was even the first thing. They had trance, too.
Oh god, Trance Revolution into crack? What a rough, rave that is.
Yeah. Ooh, a white shirt.
Trance, one of the most terrifying abilities to run into, because it'll hit you even through a ribbon.
That's because it is an untyped ability. So, while a ribbon will protect you against all types, doesn't protect you against non-types. So stuff like trance will just go right on through.
Certainly will. It certainly will.
Ooh, there's another ribbon.
Absolutely, you gotta love seeing that. That's ShadowWalker's first ribbon, but depending on when Elastoid gets here, if he's not in go mode going through ice, which, if you're going through ice, you're not in go mode, he'll get a...
Oh, I did not see what killed ShadowWalker's fighter.
Oh, wizards, the unrunnable wizards have rub. Oh no, and he gets taken out by the earths.
Ugh.
Just
Okay,
before he's
then.
gonna drop down and find out what the incentive item was.
That was the trap tile for the incentive chest. The back to Earth.
Oh no, you hate to see that.
Yeah, get all the way to the end and then just get pummeled to death.
The good news is he knows that there's basically, aside from that white shirt, not a whole lot that he needs to grab for chest, so he can kind of go mode ice.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Glance too, because we haven't seen enough nasty abilities.
Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that he was able to clear the Sea Shrine fairly easily, this Ice Cave is still not playing nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming for his teeth.
Yeah, Elastoid taking on the bridge boss on the way to turning into TNT.
The second worst boss behind Bat Boss. Elastoid doing the smart thing and using Warp to get out after grabbing his Power Bomb.
Yep, investing in that level 6 spell is doing him some good. Also, it'll really do him some good when he goes into ice, so we'll be able to get through here a lot faster than ShadowWalker is.
Absolutely, he'll be able to use the Warp trick to fall down the hole, cast Warp, check those 3 chests, and only have to do the whole thing once instead of having a double run through the whole thing. And
Elastoid is deciding to go through the inner sea to get to to get to these last couple dungeons.
Yeah, that makes a little bit of sense considering that he was already there turning in his TNT, but yeah, we'll see if that pays off depending on what's in this incentive ice and if he's going to ice or volcano first. Well, looks like Elastoid's heading for the volcano.
Uh-huh. Definitely has a lot of chests to check, and it's a dungeon you're gonna have to get through anyway.
Certainly, there's always a chance that you're gonna find with how chest dense this is. There's always a chance that one of our loose items.
ShadowWalker passing on the white shirt this time.
Yeah, that makes that it's entirely possible he forgot exactly what chest it was and didn't want to go digging for it.
Yeah. He's able to get away, and it's the adamant.
So if that adamant leads to the floater, Elastoid's parking from the inner sea is actually going to be useful for getting back over to turn that in. So, if you're ShadowWalker and you're in this area, you've just gotten that adamant, do you go turn it in, or do you go to Volcano?
Given where he parked, I'd probably do Volcano first. Because he did park on the outside of the continent.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. It seems like it definitely seems like it seems like there's going to be a lot of chests to check in Volcano, because there are a lot of chests to check in Volcano, but again, you're still, incentive item.
Yeah, and just going all the way back to Dwarf Cave just to turn in the adamant, and then just come all the way back to Volcano. That just seems like a bit of a time sink. And, ooh, this is not a bad trap towel here, this fighter.
Oh no, that can get you a lot of XP very quickly, and they don't seem to be hitting too hard. But Elastoid,
I don't think it got a chance to hit at all.
Very possible.
And it can come in 1s and 2s, so that is definitely an option for grind tile. It's easily accessible.
For those of you just joining us, this is the Spring 2020 Final Fantasy Randomizer Monty Chaos Casino Tournament. This is Week 6, and we are on Chaos Flags, which means that we do not have any incentivized Fiend dungeons, and instead we have 3 loose items. Now that we're an hour in, Melee Wizard, would you mind giving us a recap as to what items we found so far?
Certainly. From the royalty, we got the rod from we got the slab from Sarda and the crystal from the king. The crystal led to the bottle, which we haven't been able to turn in yet. The Astos had the canoe, which the crown was from the Circle of Sages in Crescent Lake. The canal was in the link chest in Upper Marsh. The cube was loose in the 3rd floor of Earth. The Oxyale was for sale in Provoco for about 6,600. The Vicky had the ruby, the Titan's Trove had the tail, and the Ordeals, Castle of Ordeals had the TNT. And as we just see, the adamant turn-in produces the chime.
You know what that means. Sky. Personally, I love an early Sky play. I wouldn't call this an early Sky play, considering we've already got 2 orbs lit, but personally, I would go Sky before I go Volcano.
Given that it's a bit of a trip either which way, yeah, I could see either plague being taken.
Tylea,
dragon armor.
Ooh, very nice. Tylea is saying that they would be afraid to do randomizer races because leaving a party member dead for so long would drive them crazy. Well, the good news for you, Tylea, is that one of the things the randomizer does is it allows you to just not take a 4th party member. You can play with only 3, and you won't have to have that dead party member clogging up your inventory.
Or 3, 2, maybe even 1, if you're so inclined. But yeah, loose floater, Agama floor for Elastoid.
Wow, this This volcano play is paid off huge for Elastoid.
Uh-huh.
That's going to make his life a whole lot easier. He'll be able to promote. He's going to be able to move around much faster. This is big.
Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, ShadowWalker checking Mirage. Let's see what kind of stuff we find here. Oh, a Pro Cape. Not bad.
And considering that we still need the key and the loot, and we still haven't found the, and we just found the loose floater, was that our second or our third loose item?
That was our second.
Okay, so we still have one loose item, but, which means that we may still have to be hunting things down, but it's possible that our loose item, actually, our loose item has to be the herb leading to either the key or the loot, so it looks like that loose item is going to be required.
Well, we still have the item in Lefane unaccounted for.
That's true. The item in Lefane could be the herb leading into something, but if it is, then either way, isn't the herb still going to be required to lead to either the key or the loot? Because the herb itself is an incentivized location, and we found our supposed whammy items.
True. Wait, what was the No, actually, we are still missing the opal bracelet. That's still unaccounted for.
Oh, okay. Getting ahead of myself.
Hey, it's a lot to keep track of. So we're just watching and talking. It's a whole other thing for our two runners. They're actually having to think about all this stuff as they go, as Elastoid pulls the carry fight.
Team Rocket is getting nuked and was likely going to be blasting off very shortly.
Yep.
There it goes.
And ShadowWalker finds a second katana and a black shirt. And Elastoid lighting that third orb at about 104.30.
And no surprise, Elastoid immediately going south to turn in that floater and get his skyboat.
Oh, yes. Having already done ordeals, that means pretty much getting to anywhere will be faster than going by boat. And at 105.16, Elastoid is our first runner in the air.
And immediately goes for Ice Cave. We'll see if it's any nicer to him than it was to poor ShadowWalker.
Mm-hmm.
He does have the advantage of having warp.
Yes, definitely. ShadowWalker has entered the floating fortress.
Yeah, with the knowledge that he has, like, I don't hate this play. We know it's not going to pay off, but it is the same one I'd make because I love going to Scott.
Well, I mean, we are still looking for a loose item. It could still pay off. It just won't be with the floater.
Very true. The nice thing about Sky, though, is that you can kind of do a walking grind through here, because there's a... Oh, hey, speaking of loose items, there's a loose herb in Sky.
Uh-huh. And that's a chest that's not often checked. That one, the Bane Sword chest, all by itself.
Yeah, Demarine pointing out that that's a terrible chest, so if herb is required, that could be very good for ShadowWalker.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, as I was saying, you can kind of do a walking grind going through Sky because there are so many, there's so much XP to be had in here.
One thing that I'm a little surprised by is that Elastoid didn't promote yet, but I can see why just knocking out Ice Cave as you go.
Yeah, Ice is so nearby, I can understand the temptation to just immediately go hit that incentive location. Oof, I didn't see what happened to ShadowWalker, but he's having to heal up pretty strong.
There's Opal armor. But I think we've already found Dragon armor, so that's already obsolete.
Yep, since, you know, same defense, but gives you more elemental resistances. And we just got some cash and a cabin.
Yeah, the fact that ShadowWalker's still checking chests here is he knows there's still a loose out there.
Absolutely. He keeps running into these eyes, which is fantastic for his XP.
Oh yeah.
They go down really quick, and they're just juicy.
And the fact that he's gotten as many key items as he has is also really good, because you get an extra, I believe it's an extra 5% experience for every key item you have.
Right you are, Melee Wizard. Right you are. Well, the Manticores are unrunnable, but they've got pretty low health. 130 damage from a nuke roll took a...
I'm hoping Elastoid kept that ribbon. I don't know if he had actually had enough inventory space for it.
Ooh, that would be bad if he didn't notice he didn't have the inventory space and left that ribbon behind. It's not as big a deal as most times, considering that wall was available at, I think, like level 3 or 4, but still would be unfortunate. Oh. Okay, Wote says that he emptied his armor when he got the white shirt, so he did pick up the ribbon.
Ah, enough. Yeah, it looks like we are getting our first promotion. Ooh, defense sword.
Yeah, you love to see that. It's always nice being able to have whoever your main melee caster is to cast Ruse on themselves by using that in battle in Temple of Fiends Revisited. And it looks like the Black Mage for Elastoid is getting the Masamune now that he's promoted, and Excal is going to go on the fighter.
Mm-hmm. Alright, ShadowWalker's on the 3rd floor of Sky. Let's see what kind of goodies we have here.
The Aegis, which is, again, something you love to see when you've got a big old fighter at the front of your party.
Uh-huh. And Elastoid is going to go ahead and clean out the Cardia aisles while he's here.
It makes sense. We know there's not going to be much here because they've already found, like, all of the weapons, and the rest of, like, the only thing he might want at this point for his fighter is a, oh, there's his 3rd ribbon. I suppose I spoke too soon.
Yep,
This is just me speaking too soon, Howard.
Yep, it's ribbon number 3, so that's one thing that we know ShadowWalker won't find here in Sky.
No, and probably won't find at all, because when he picks up his, if he picks up his loose floater actually he's gonna have to pick up his loose floater in the volcano. But once he gets his loose floater, he's probably just gonna go mode everything.
Yeah, at that point it would just be too late in the game for a promotion to do that much good. Flame armor.
Oh, very nice. And we're about to find out what the bottle turn-in gives us. And there's the key. So, yep, definitely need need to get that loose floater at some.
Yep, if we hadn't already figured it out at this point, that seals the deal.
So now we're gonna find out if the Lefenish have our last item in the loot, or if it's gonna be the herb that leads to the loot.
Yep. Here we'll either find the loot or the opal bracelet. And if it is the opal bracelet, we'll see what kind of path Elastoid decides to take from here. But it is the loot.
So at 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 45 seconds, Elastoid is the first of our racers to reach Go Mode.
Oh yes. It only has one dungeon left, and might just skip everything along the way.
I wouldn't blame him at this point. He's got quite a bit of gear at this point. He's promoted. He just wants to put his foot on the gas. And that's going to be extra bad news for ShadowWalker if he goes to turn in that herb before going to Volcano to find the float. Yeah, Elastoid doesn't bother with any of the chests on the first floor of Mirage. He is just pushing the gas.
Meanwhile, ShadowWalker makes his way across the Bridge of Destiny. Didn't have a Warmech sighting, unfortunately. And so we've got Tiamat 1. Ooh, 406. Nice hit there by the thief.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter whose hands are in. The Mossam, and it can be a very deadly weapon.
And Tiamat learned that firsthand. And at 1:15:13, that's our third orb for ShadowWalker227. And with the Elastoid in full go mode, we'll get through Sky Palace a lot faster than ShadowWalker did.
Yeah, not having to check all of these chests is going to make it just a incredibly fast dungeon.
Oh yes.
Depending on how the the final bridge to Destiny treats.
Though one possible downside is that he won't be taking as many fights here as ShadowWalker did, so I haven't really noted the levels of each of our runners here to see who has the edge on that front.
ShadowWalker hit 25 right when he killed the last fiend.
Ah. And ShadowWalker is going to get the bad news that he still has quite a bit of work left to do. I mean, he still does, but now he's looking for, I guess, 3 items instead of 2.
Pretty much. Though at this point, with the turn-ins he's made, he knows that the floater has to be that loose item, so he knows he's just looking for a loose floater so that he can get his last 2 key items. And Elastoid is about to be on the Bridge of Destiny, so please get your Bless RNGs out in chat if you want to see a Warmech tonight. first encounter, just some red hydras.
And ShadowWalker making the volcano play, which makes sense.
Incredible hero run from Elastoid.
Oh, yeah.
And he takes on Bowser.
And Bowser's using fire, as Bowser often does.
Yeah, reasonable.
But gets broken into pieces. So 117.52, Elastoid Lights Orb number 4. And is in the mid to high 20s. That should be good for a dive into the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Yeah, and if he's feeling, you know, a little shaky about his levels, there's always that red D trap tile in Earth.
So I think it looks like he's going to be stocking up on some magic first.
Yeah, that makes sense, considering he was now able to learn that Fade at level 5 on his promoted Red Wizard. And he didn't have Fast, which also is a good thing to pick up first.
Oh, yes.
Especially when I don't think we've seen Temper.
Looking over the... No, I don't think so, which means it's got to be a level 7 or 8, which is never a good thing.
Yeah, you get maybe 1 or 2 charges on your Black Mage, but it's certainly not a guarantee.
Looks like just definitely wanting to get Life 2 on that night.
And who could blame him? And grabbing Exit just in case.
Yeah, though things would have to be pretty desperate to exit out of Topher.
Either that or that means he is planning to go somewhere and do a quick grind.
Potentially. Though at level 27, I'm curious as to what his goal would be if he does take a grind.
Oh, he's at level 27? Yeah, no, he's going into Topher.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen someone exit out of Topher, at least not on purpose. And at 120.32, Elastoid is our first runner into Topher.
Yep, let's see how this final temple treats him, because this could always be an equalizer. Apparently he saw something he didn't like.
Yeah.
Did he forget to stock up on heal pots?
Ah, gold bracelets.
Yeah, he probably got whacked too hard, and it's just like, I should buy some armor.
And is actually getting one for the downed black belt as well. Or no, never mind. Just rearranging the equipment.
And
ShadowWalker finding that floater. And Elastoid burning an encounter before entering the time portal. There must be something about that first encounter that he doesn't like. I didn't see what it was.
I believe it was a bunch of chimeras, and it was hitting fairly hard.
Ah, yeah.
It hit someone for like 200.
Ooh, yeah. A regular enemy hitting for that? Oh, dear.
Ugh. Also, this unrunnable badman encounter, that could be bad.
Yeah, especially when they roll it pretty high on health.
Yeah, 2 nuke charges didn't even take care of all of them. That is some high health.
Yes. But mixing it up with some fades and ice 3s gets the job done. Oh, we have a sentry on the Phantom tile. Is able to get away from it quickly enough.
Yep, and does not check the validation chest, so that is an instant disqualification. You hate to see it.
Well, I mean, what does Elastoid need? He's got 3 ribbons. He's got Masa, Excal, Dragon Armor.
No, he's got everything he could possibly want, save maybe an Aegis.
Which I think we did. Yeah, that was... And
In
Aegis
Sky.
was in Sky, yeah. And at 123.33, ShadowWalker is airborne. In a bit of good menuing, use the bottle along the way. And Elastoid encountering the Green Medusa pack, which at times can have rolled something really nasty, but doesn't appear to be the case today.
Yeah, not like yesterday, when it rolled like nuke.
Yeah, you never want to see that.
And Lich is back, and for how long, who knows, but it seems to be surviving pretty well. It seems pretty tanky, actually. It's taken not a lot of damage from these swings.
Mm-hmm.
He's also not doing anything of note, but he is absorbing an awful lot of damage.
But down he goes. The nice thing about that was that he went down before the nuke charge went off, so that was a spell slot saved there.
Absolutely. And ShadowWalker picks up his loot at 2458.
Decides to have some steak to celebrate.
Did Elastoid get like a hero run through the fire floor? Because he's already at Team Rocket 2. And Team Rocket 2 is already dead.
Yeah, I didn't see if that was just one big swing or if that was something else, but wow, Carrie went down quick.
Oh, and he didn't even bother to heal up before Carrie. That is disrespectful.
And Carrie almost made it pay for it. It was a precision strike, bringing the knight down to his knees. And apparently it was just one fasted swing with the Excal, and that was enough. Dang. We got the waters here, and they're hitting pretty hard. As ShadowWalker decides to promote.
And you can't blame him. He's got that dragon armor. He's got the Aegis shield. Promotion makes so much sense for him.
Oh yeah, just on an equipment standpoint. Mass Immune, Katana. Little surprised he's not making use of the Excal a little bit, but
I bet he feels like he's got enough melee going on that he doesn't need to, say, put the Masamune on the red mage or the black mage at this point.
Alright, now Elastoid has brought the Master back up, mostly to serve as a meat shield for Kraken 2.
Which makes a lot of sense, because Kraken 2 loves to hit hard and just delete party members.
Yes. And can do so very easily, although that wasn't too bad of a hit.
Not at all, and that black belt's got the white shirt on him, so he's throwing Invis 2 up to make Kraken hit even softer.
Oh, wow. Now that was a precision strike. That was exactly the amount of damage needed to take out the knight.
Yeah, so now you gotta hope that he starts missing due to all these white shirt casts, and you're able to take him down with spell.
Or just have him start using spells himself like that Fire 2.
Very true. we got another round of nukes going out at Kraken 2. Another round of white shirt. Oh, Kraken's fasted himself.
But Kraken is down. And ShadowWalker enters Topher, I believe that was at 127.32. But despite everything, the Master actually survived the Kraken fight anyway. Oh, and Airs have Cure 4. Isn't that fun?
Luckily, they're runnable. And we roll into Tiamat 2. Popping off a power gun bonk, hitting off that white shirt, casting some fast, and I think a nuke? Yep. A nuke.
Pretty high roll on that nuke, too.
Very nice.
The Master was able to survive one round to get that white shirt off.
Yeah, every round he survives throwing that white shirt around, it makes it easier to survive what Tiamat's got.
And it was that was 8 hits for something, and that was enough.
Yeah, I was about to say, we went a little slideshow there, but it paid off as Elastoid took down Tiamat.
Was able to get away from that rock gull fight.
And is healing up. It looks like it dealt some pretty severe damage to a couple of people.
Well, I mean, we're up to the Chaos fight. If you're not healing now, when are you?
Good point. I didn't see if he had made it through the door yet or not to Chaos, or if he was having to heal up before getting to the staircase.
He's rearranging his equipment, it looks like. And we are at Chaos.
Yep. And I imagine we're having our standard setup here. Unfortunately, it looks like Elastoid might be having some internet troubles. We're getting a little bit of slideshow theater here.
Looks like it's kind of resolved itself, and
Ooh,
Chaos
swirl.
starts off with a swirl.
And we've got some more white shirting and some more power bonking.
A stun from Chaos.
Which doesn't look like it did much, so that's always good to see.
And well, ShadowWalker gets past Lich 2.
And then Ink, also not doing anything.
Yeah, all these free turns.
And now we're going to start nuking him down. Nice big 314, followed by a 392. Almost. And the red mage gets zapped.
Oh boy.
We hit 7 hits for 603 from the fighter. Dropping another nuke, dropping another attack. 166 from the nuke. Fighter swings, 8 hits, 501. Chaos is still standing. Throws out stop, no good. Rub, ineffective. 8 hits, 295. Nuke rolls 159. Chaos still standing. We're out of nukes now. 6 hits, 318. Chaos still around. Hits that stun again, which means it's starting to roll back around. 9 hits, 815. Chaos is down for Elastoid. With an official SRL time, Elastoid has come in first place at 131.21. Get your GGs out for Elastoid.
Yeah, GG. Elastoid makes it to 5-1 and takes an express trip to the bracket stage.
And let's see if we can get Elastoid in here for an interview.
And we have Elastoid in. GG.
What happened? Was it the cube? It was the cube, wasn't it?
Actually, it was the floater in the volcano.
What, he didn't find the floater?
Nope.
He didn't go. He went sky first.
Oh, wow. No, when I found the when the 2 places that I went, turned out to be whammies. The ordeals and waterfall were both nothing. Right? And then I went to volcano and I immediately found floater. I was like, well, that's it. That's going to be go mode for him, right? Or rather, he's going to be flying because he's going to find it first. And then it turned out that the Oxyale and Slab were go mode. So I was like, I hope that he didn't find Cube. It's always possible he didn't find Cube.
No, it turns out he ended up full clearing Sky before even setting foot in Volcano.
Yeah, I was hoping, like what I was hoping for was Key from one of the Slab or Oxyale, and maybe like Opal Bracelet from the other. I wanted loot to be loose in Sky, because I figured my cube was my only advantage there, and I thought there was a good chance that he would not clear Earth, and he would instead, like that he would get there last and potentially check the, potentially check like Mirage before he got into Sky.
Well, there was a loose item in Sky, but it was the herb which led to the Opal Cheerio.
Oh, did he turn that in? Oh, well, I guess he must have.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
And I think he did that before setting foot in Volcano as well. Turned out the herb was in the Banesword chest.
Yeah.
Which at the time, we weren't sure what was where just yet. So we were worried that if the herb turned into something, that maybe you would miss it, because that chest is not something that's checked that often.
Yeah, but I was in go mode when I got there. But you got Chaos
but
on ShadowWalker's side.
Yep, and like I said, but that we were contemplating this before you were in go mode.
Okay. Yeah, you got a Chaos to call though.
Oh yes. Yep. Throwing up a defense. Chaos throwing off an ink. Free round. Yep, 177 with the katana.
Throwing some Cure 3s onto that fighter in case Swirl comes back around.
Ooh, 7 hits for 13. Ouch.
Wow, Chaos had a lot of absorb that we didn't see.
And the nuclear takes down both mages. Oh dear. Yep. Throw up some more power bonks. You're gonna need it.
Yep.
And there's the swirl.
This Chaos was much, much more dangerous than we saw earlier.
Uh-huh. 556, that's an improvement.
5 hits for 83, not so much of an improvement.
There's another free round. 128, there's the zap. 125. There's the nuclear. Uh-oh.
We're down to just the fighter now.
723. Chaos is down.
Wow! What a nail biter!
Oh,
that was close.
No doubt. Anything more than like an ice tube probably would have taken him out. And ShadowWalker finishes at second place with an official time of 1:35.58. GG.
Oh wow!
And we have ShadowWalker in the booth. You must have been sweating bullets for a moment there.
GG, Shadow.
When the race is already over, like, it sucks, but, like, yeah, the Chaos fight was very clutch. I'm way more upset about the fact that I was Sans Go Mode Sans Floater 40 minutes before I entered Topher.
Yeah. No, I thought it was going to be the cube that was the big difference, but they told me that it was the floater.
Yeah, my routing was absolutely fantastic if that herb turned into the floater instead of the other way around. Because honestly, the big difference is I was debating after Ice whether to do Volcano or Sky, and I decided to go to Sky, and that was the wrong choice.
Oh well, definitely GG though. Like I think I upset everybody's bracket again. I don't think that anybody would have predicted you to lose. So I mean, the play-in race just got a whole lot harder.
Yeah, I think I've got decent odds in the play-in race. I really wanted to avoid it altogether, but
I think
we'll
you
have to
got
see what
great
happens
odds. I
next
think
week.
everybody else's odds just got worse.
I mean, there's a huge number of runners in that pool. Spellzap's going to be there. CC's going to be there. I'll be there. Fizzle Beef will be there. There's a lot of really, really good runners.
True enough. Oh, that was... You very nearly won very early because I forgot about Bicky.
Yeah, we noticed that. Thankfully, you didn't get very far before you looked at your inventory and say, wait a minute.
Yeah, like... For some reason, it's always when I leave. Like, I check my inventory there every time because even when I do remember the item, I will leave and I'll be sailing out and I'll go, wait, what did he give me? It's just the way I route. I wind up checking all the shops after Bicky, and I never remember what it was that Bicky had. So in this case, I was like, what did he have? He had nothing. He didn't give me Canoe. I didn't grab his item.
Yeah, we were sweating for you for a minute.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting way to lose.
Especially since that was what ultimately led to the rod.
It's certainly happened.
The Ruby from Vicky.
Certainly happened in tournament matches. You forget to check somebody, and you fought Vicky, but forgot to check the key item. That's happened to more than one runner.
Yeah.
But GG, I'm a bit sad, but I'm gonna watch that one back and see if I would have maybe done something differently. I feel like I played it really well, but
I'll definitely watch it back. But I mean, it seems like it's a it was complex where all the things were. You know, the chaos flags just having the 3 loose items. That's something that requires a little bit of adaptation, and there was I mean, I guess we're going to be doing that in brackets. So, I mean, hopefully, we both need to get a little bit better at deciding what to clear and what not to. I think.
One thing that I found was interesting is you guys kind of diverged on routes like right from the get-go, and in spite of doing that, you guys were doing Earth Cave at pretty much the same time. You were pretty much step for step going through Earth. That
surprises me. Did you full clear Marsh, Shadow?
I full cleared everything.
Oh yeah, well I mean me too. So that's
that. There was one thing that ShadowWalker. One thing you did skip doing mermaids.
Yes, the only thing that I skipped was mermaids, but I full cleared absolutely everything until floater, and
mermaids turned into a good skip.
Yeah, there was a ribbon in mermaids and also in the Cardia Isles, but yeah, that odd seed where we actually find all 3 ribbons.
Yeah, if I found I checked Cardia and I was like, oh my god, I forgot. Like I knew that I was going to do the Oxyale slab turn-ins, right? But I had forgot whether I was I forgot when I was going to do them, and I meant to do them before I checked any Cardia because I didn't want to. I knew if I found key in loot, I was in go mode, right? So, and I knew if I found key, then I had a whole lot more checks if I didn't find loot. So it was just sort of. I don't know. I'm sad that I cleared Cardia, and I'm sad that I did some of the clears just because I did things in the wrong order.
Yeah, that's that's something that I am going to be taking to the postmortem. I have some very strong thoughts about these flags that we've been doing for this spring tournament, and I have some suggestions about things that I feel about them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and echo that. You know, I think that they did an excellent job putting together a flag set that was like. There's some things that I love about this flag set. I love that Topher is so rarely easy in these flags, because I mean I've seen a lot of close races, and I've commentated a lot of races where it felt like it was over, but then Topher said no, it wasn't. So I mean that is good, and it's exciting, and it rewards a lot of experience. But there's also a lot of gambling in this that we can try to lessen the impact of, at the very least. Anyway, do you have any questions for us, or?
Honestly, it's been great just letting YouTube bounce off of each other.
Oh yeah. Elastoid, this victory puts you at 5-1, and I think you had already touched on this, but you have punched your ticket into the brackets, so you're bypassing all the play-in races. How are you feeling about that one?
It's unexpected. I don't know how I feel about that. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I had just assumed that I wasn't going to have to deal with that now I will. So, but obviously it's exciting. You know, I don't know who I'm going to get matched up with, but I'm looking forward to it. Here's hoping that it can be a rematch with Will Bloodworth, and we can have like just 3 insane parties to go with. But yeah, it feels pretty good right now.
Awesome, glad to hear that. Do either of you have anything else you would like to say at this point?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say huge thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting us. Huge thank you to both you, Dr. Funkin and Melee Wizard, for doing the commentary. Big thank you to is it Woat that was tracking? Thank you to Woat for tracking.
Was.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, thank you, ShadowWalker, for being so generous about the time to set this up, although I still managed to find a way to screw that up. And thank you for being willing to re-roll at short notice. That was good of you. And yeah, thank you to the whole community. And if anybody is interested in joining the Discord, absolutely do. Around now, like in the tournament stage, is when I first joined 2 years ago. And there's a lot that you can learn in this stage, and there's a lot that you can do while everybody's racing these for brackets, and everybody's sort of talking about it and learning. It's a great time.
Not to mention, there's just a lot of resources in the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord. It's a great community. Doesn't matter if you think your question's stupid, they'll be able to answer it. Answer whatever questions you may have.
All right, so yeah, ShadowWalker's final thoughts, I guess, right?
Yeah, so not really a lot to add. You guys covered a lot of the things that I was going to say. GG Elastoid. Of course, I was willing to reroll. We were only 2 minutes in, and like that's fine. It wasn't an issue. Just bear in mind, if we meet up in brackets, I'll have an axe to grind.
if we meet up in brackets, I'll try to take a win off you.
A great axe to grind?
I'm thinking more like silver, but okay.
It's going to be a light axe.
Hey, don't take my axe lightly.
Whichever one you find first, I guess.
Oh, sorry. There was I missed. Edge said something in chat. How the Bard's Tale helped me prepare for this. I full clear everything in the Bard's Tale, and that's what I did in this. So that's how it helped me prepare.
Alright, so I think that about draws things to a close here. We do have a few more races going on. If they're not already in progress, they're about to be. We've got a couple of races that started about an hour ago. We got Avos Ruin versus Zyrak on Randomania 2, and Danny versus Devio on Speed Gaming Prime. Coming up in a couple minutes on Speed Gaming 5, we've got Wild Ham versus High Spirits, and at 10 o'clock Eastern on Randomania 2, we have Spellzap versus Hypes Nova. All races that have some significance to the play-in races that'll be coming up soon. So I guess for our runners, Elastoid and ShadowWalker, my co-commentator Elastoid, our tracker Woat, and everyone else behind the scenes at Speed Gaming.
Your co-commentator is Melee Wizard.
Melee Wizard is his own co-commentator. I'm not here, it's fine.
I get names mixed up.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Anyway, for my co-commentator, Dr. Funkin, I'm sorry. I am Melee Wizard, and have a nice night.
Don't forget to follow our runners. Don't forget to follow your commentators. Don't forget to follow our tracker Woat. And don't forget to follow Speed Gaming. Have a good